punctual. I think we've got a good critical mass here to get going. My name is Mike Kinman. I'm the dean here at Christ Church Cathedral. And the first thing I get to do is to say welcome, and just welcome to this cathedral. And it really isn't a throwaway line when I say that this place is yours. We really believe that this church is sacred public space. And cathedrals historically have been gathering places not just for one group of people, but for entire communities. Cathedrals are places where everyone gathers to seek a wisdom that's higher than our own, and that's why we're here tonight. So we are open 7 days a week. We're open if you ever need a place just to come and sit and think and pray or read. And we're open if you want to gather a group together and have a conversation like this one that does seek a wisdom higher than our own. So thank you for being here. Perhaps the most important thing I'll tell you tonight is where the bathroom is, which is if you came in this entry hall here, it's right where you see our guard Darren standing right there in the back. Right behind him, there's a door for a restroom, and we'll just trust you to manage that yourself. A couple other technical things. We have a guest list at the back with a couple clipboards. Please sign that with your contact information. The things that are happening here today, we fully intend it not to end here, and we want to keep the conversation going and keep you aware of what's happening and be accountable to you. And so if we have your contact information, we can do that. And we'll go through the ground rules in a little bit, but one of them is, as you may be able to see, this is being videotaped, and we are going to offer this videotape to our elected officials, and Bob's going to talk about that in a little bit. But part of that means that if you want to speak, you're going to need to sign a release form first. And we'll go through the technicalities of that, but there will be a line here, and make sure you sign the release form before you come up to speak. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Bob, who's going to go over a couple things. Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Father Mike. Thanks for the space. We really appreciate it. First, if you look at the agenda, it's how did we get here? And I know, speaking for myself personally, I've been an active member of this community for quite a while. And I've been to several town hall meetings, and somewhere along the way, the town addressing the hall has gotten lost. Everyone that I've showed up to has wanted little question cards to be handed in. They've been rifled through, and sometimes questions get answered and sometimes they don't. And to me, the way I grew up, my idea of a town hall meeting is when the town gets to get up and address their concerns and their suggestions to their civic leaders and ask that they do something about them. That frustration has manifested itself into this meeting. So this is your opportunity now, all of you, to get up, grab a microphone, and address what concerns you, what your suggestions are for improving our downtown neighborhood. It's entirely up to you. We do have some ground rules for discussion, which means that when you get up, we're in church, so clearly, behave yourself a little bit, make sure that you don't get out of hand, no profanity, clearly. And we've all agreed that we don't want anybody to assign motive to people. We don't want somebody to say, for instance, that such and such is a money-grubbing person, and therefore that's why they're doing these things. If you see a problem, please address what the problem is and what you would like to see as a solution without insulting another person personally in any way, shape, or form. We're gonna, in the beginning of this meeting, we're gonna do basically 4 different topics, or 3 to 4 different topics at 15 minutes apiece. And we're gonna let you, the people that showed up, the residents, decide which of those topics we're gonna do first. After the initial hour is over, we're just going to open up the mic and give everybody 2 minutes. If it seems like there's not a lot of speakers lined up, we'll extend the speakers' time. I'm going to be sitting up here with my famous gavel. When it gets down to about 15 seconds, I'll tap the gavel to let you know that you need to wrap up your comments. They're on the back of your agenda. You'll see ground rules for speaking. The motivation behind the ground rules and the format is to make sure that everybody here gets the opportunity to speak that they probably haven't had in the past. And with that, I think that what we'll do is do a show of hands on what topics we'd like to address first. Some of the main topics that we identified at the last town hall meeting were homelessness downtown, law enforcement issues, panhandling, nightlife. How many of you here are here to address homeless issues? So I see 15 law enforcement issues. I see 12. Nightlife. 4. So I see 4 for nightlife. Am I missing one? I'm missing one. What was the other one? Oh, panhandling. Wow. Wow, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so panhandling is number 1 with 18. And with that, I think that we'll begin to open up the topics. Everybody that would like to speak, please come around this side. There's a sign-up sheet on a release form.
We're going to do a couple of things first.
This is tough.
So we're going to do this stuff first.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Here. You're good.
One more thing.
One more thing, and it's, in some ways it's that I get to do warm up back, but really what we wanted to do is because we really want this to be a constructive dialogue. We wanted to start off with a couple of questions, and the first is, I hope all of us are downtown here by choice, and there's some reason that we wanted to live downtown. And there's a lot of people in the St. Louis metro area, most people, choose not to do what we've done, which is to make a life downtown. And I just wanted to ask, what brought you downtown? Really, what was it? Why did you choose to live downtown? And just raise your hand, shout it out. Why did you choose to live downtown? Yeah.
I located my business here and I wanted to live close to my business.
Okay, you want to be close to your, what's your business?
It's a convenient place for the entire metropolitan area.
Okay, how about you? Photography? You want to visit photography downtown? Fantastic. Who else? Why'd you move downtown? Yeah.
I think we're going to think about work downtown and do work and stay here because I love the block.
Because you love the block? You love the block. Fantastic. Okay, what else? Who else? Yeah.
Easy accessibility of being able to be and very
Easy accessibility to be anywhere. You can get wherever you need to go. Great. What else? Why did you choose to live downtown? Yeah.
We swapped our county house with our kids' loft and decided we loved it. We're staying.
What do you love about it?
It's very alive and always something going on and, you know, it's the grass or snow. Very low maintenance and, but I think that was a lifestyle.
Fantastic. Thank you. One or two more. Why'd you come downtown? Yeah.
We retired, lived in Chesterfield, and wanted a more vibrant lifestyle.
Okay.
So we moved down here.
One more. Why'd you move down? Okay, over here. Yeah. There's stuff happening now. I mean, you look around, the library, Park Pacific, all the Peabody, all this stuff is going on here. So, you know, what I love about gatherings like this is we don't take, there's other places that we could be, there's other things we could be doing. We're here because we care. We came downtown because there was something or many things about downtown that we love, and we care about it, and we want downtown to be the best that it can be. And so that's the other thing that I want us to look at as we start, because we're going to talk about a lot of frustration. And there's a lot of real frustrations, and we're going to have a chance to name those. But I want to start off, what do we hope downtown is happening? What are your aspirations and dreams for downtown?
That it has a little bit more sense of community.
like a real neighborhood versus a lot of us having our own individual ideas, you know, really coming together as a neighborhood and, you know, building that sense of community together.
Fantastic. A real sense of community. What else? There we go. You got dreams.
That you can walk through downtown and pass any given block and no longer see any vacant spots. I just really have that dream.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
It's the gateway to the west, and it's the gateway to the north and south. They have a great big arch that says opportunity is here.
What's your dream for downtown?
I want it to be the kind of place where everyone knows one another, where everyone is friendly with one another, and I want to see every single empty building thriving with opportunities. Because one of the things I came down here to see Shenyang because 5,000 years from Chinese history, and I could. It was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. I traveled all over the world and Shenyang.
That's great. That's a great picture. There was another hand over here. Where? Okay, yeah.
I hope property values go up.
Okay, no property values. That's a great dream. All right. I like it. What are your dreams for downtown?
A safe environment where I feel comfortable walking alone or my girlfriend walking the dogs at night, not have to worry about it.
Absolutely. We want to be safe. That's a great dream for downtown. One more. What's a good dream? What's your dream or aspiration? Sorry.
Kind of connecting the dots. We have pockets of city. We have Soulard, we have Central West End, we have all these little areas. I'd like to see the city grow together so that you're not walking through the militarized zones in order to get from one place to another, that it's brought together.
That's great. The reason we're doing this is because we're convinced that we don't wait for other people to make this happen. We're convinced that our leaders work for us. And we're convinced that the community vision for what downtown can be is what we need to work together to do. The ground rules that you'll see on the back of your agenda is designed to do that. It's an occupational hazard that I put things in theological terms for me. But what we really talk about is, well, what is, in the language of my faith, what does the heavenly Jerusalem look like? What is that great city that when it's there we say, yes, it's done. This is the city that we dream of. And so as we talk, we're going to be honest about our frustrations. And we're going to speak well. I want us to really maintain that image of what we want this city to be. So even as we're talking and naming the frustrations, the reason we're doing it is because we're committed not just to dream those dreams, but to work to make it happen. And so the technicality thing is we want people to line up by that table when it's time for you to speak and make sure you sign. And when it's your turn to speak, just walk up to the microphone here. We don't have like 400 people here, but still, if you've already spoken once, please yield to someone who hasn't spoken if possible. Let everyone make sure they have a chance. Really listen deeply to the speakers. And so don't just be waiting to say what you want to say. Really listen deeply to the speakers. Really invite you to be challenged by people who might be saying things different than your own. And also ask yourself, is what I have to say, has it been said before? Will it add to the value of the conversation? We said sign the release form. Bob's going to be the time meister, so keep it to 2 minutes or less, and we'll use the gavel. We might extend that later if it looks like it's going to work. Again, I don't think I have to worry about this. No profanity. Don't question people's motives. We can't see into other people's hearts. Be honest and open about frustrations, but also propose possible solutions. And then when you're not speaking, applause is absolutely appropriate. So when someone's done, if there's something that you'd like to have said, absolutely applaud. It's a great way to show your support. Don't shout or make comments during or between speakers. Have some respect for whoever's talking. We're recording this with a camera that has a sort of a unidirectional mic, and so side conversations will make the recording different. So please try to keep the side conversations to a minimum. And then again, let's listen deeply. We're going to send these tapes, as I think Bob's going to talk about, to our elected officials. But we're going to ask them to listen deeply. So let's make sure we're listening deeply to each other. So you've heard enough from me. I'm excited. I'm just going to hand it over to Bob, and we'll get going.
Okay, thank you. Definitely more open than me. All right, it's time for public comment. And so anybody that would like to address panhandling, please step up, come around to the sign-in sheet, and let's begin. Nobody ever wants to be the first person.
It's going to be a quick evening if this keeps up.
I think we got somebody coming.
No? I had 18 people raise their hands.
I know there's 18 of you out there that want to talk about panhandling.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. It takes courage to break the ice.
It does.
Or a big mouth.
And if you could also just say your name for everyone when you step to the mic, that'd be great.
Adjust it because I have a feeling it's. Oh no, we'll get her. Okay.
And that's adjustable too.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Laura Griffin. I live in Kerner's Lofts, which is at 17 Locust. I was the victim of aggressive panhandling about 6 months ago. A man who kind of got in my husband's face first. And when my husband told him to back off, he began getting verbally abusive. Pulled out my phone. I said, well, I'm going to videotape you. And then he turned on me. It got so bad when he grabbed my arm, the valet from Lucas Park came running across the street, and my husband and our friends, who had never been downtown before, came from the county. They're both pretty good-sized guys. They stepped in. The guy was yelling at me, and I called 911. And of course, the minute I called 911, he took off. It took the police about 10 minutes to get there, 15 minutes. By the time they got there, of course, he was gone. But I remembered what they told me, try to get a description, which is not good for me because I don't have a great memory. But anyway, so we gave them our information, the police took off. So we went over to Lucas Park and had a drink to thank them for helping us out. And while we're sitting there having a drink, the guy comes back and he's hitting other people. Some people are giving him money, those that aren't, he's following them down the street. So I called the police again. This time they came quicker. As it turns out, the guy, well known to the police downtown, is a panhandler who over the years has gotten more and more and more aggressive. They were not surprised that he was getting verbally abusive and that he grabbed my arm. And so they arrested him because he was out on parole. He was a parole violator already, and they just hadn't caught up with him yet. Okay, so my point is, panhandlers aren't always these benign people that you think that they are just somebody on the down and out who needs to get some money to eat. A lot of times they are much more than that, and we need to find a system to deal with that.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Brittany Cardi. I live and work in downtown St. Louis, and I guess the two things I'd like to address about panhandling is just the casualness that we deal with it on an everyday basis, because I see the same panhandlers probably 2 or 3 times a day, and sometimes they ask me for money and sometimes they don't, because they know that I've lived here for 3 years and I'm not going to go buy them something every day. So that's one thing that I'd like to see addressed. The casualness with which we treat it, I feel, on an everyday basis. And then on the weekends, of course, when tourists come in and they just give money to whoever. I almost wish there was a system in place like the meters that they make in some cities that say, it's not like you're not helping homeless people if if you contribute to that fund where you put a quarter in the meter, you're helping organizations that help homeless people and not just giving your money to whoever. Because I think, as what you were alluding to,